Shortly before midnight on June 30th, 2026, 35-year-old Shakeela Martin stopped at a BP gas station at South Florissant and Woodstock Roads in Ferguson with her 9-year-old and 6-year-old children to buy slushies before heading home. According to investigators, an altercation began inside the convenience store and continued into the parking lot, where multiple rounds of gunfire were exchanged. Martin was struck while walking back to her vehicle with her children and died at the scene despite emergency medical efforts. Her children were not physically injured. Another adult male was also shot and survived after being hospitalized with serious injuries. Ferguson Police Chief Troy Doyle said Martin wasn't involved in any type of dispute. She wasn't out in the streets. She was just a good, loving mother. Police said the shots came from a nearby vehicle, and Martin was not the intended target. Investigators believe the men were firing at another vehicle during the incident. According to a GoFundMe set up for her family, Martin was preparing to move her family into a new home the day after she was killed. If you're new to Crime Horizon HQ, subscribe now. It genuinely helps this channel keep telling these stories. We break down cases like this every single week.
Tonight, Ferguson police are putting out the call to find the suspects who shot and killed a mother of 5 outside of a gas station on Tuesday night. Today, police installed a portable camera system in the parking lot of the BP gas station at South Florissant and Woodstock Roads. The cameras can detect stolen vehicles and are part of an effort to get a better picture of the criminal activity happening around the store. Police say they still don't know if the second victim, shot and critically injured in the shooting, was the intended target because he hasn't been able to speak yet.
The campaign described her as a devoted mother to 5 children and noted she did not have life insurance, with donations going toward funeral costs and her children's needs. On July 30th, Ferguson police announced a first arrest in the case, though the suspect's name was not released at that time. Chief Doyle told reporters he had met with Martin's family to share the update, adding that there is much more work to be done on this case. Police said they used cell phone data to trace 3 men to a vehicle believed to be involved in the shooting. On August 3rd, at a press conference held with Martin's family in the front row, prosecutors announced charges against Marcus Evans, 21, Jontez Young, 19, and Kyron Farmer. Each man was charged with 1 count of second-degree murder, 1 count of first-degree assault, 3 counts of armed criminal action, and 1 count of armed use of a weapon from a motor vehicle. Evans is held on a $2 million cash-only bond, while Young and Farmer are each held on $2.5 million cash-only bonds. St. Louis County Prosecutor Melissa Price Smith said 2 of her top prosecutors are assigned to the case, and that there's nothing we at the prosecutor's office can do to bring her back, and I really wish we could. Chief Doyle said the investigation remains active, and additional arrests or charges remain possible. No trial date has been announced.
We are expecting to learn more this morning about the arrest in the case of a Ferguson mother who was shot and killed in front of her children.
Fox 2's Chris Renier is live in Ferguson this morning with the latest details. Chris?
Blair and Mike, good morning to both of you. We are just outside of the Ferguson Police Department. This is where Ferguson Police Chief Troy Doyle is set to speak on the latest in this case at 10 o'clock this morning. Court documents revealing that a suspect is in custody and is now facing multiple charges, including murder. 35-year-old Shakeela Martin was shot and killed outside of a BP gas station on South Florissant Road here in Ferguson back on June 30th while her children were with her. We're told Shakeela was a total innocent bystander. She had gone to that BP to buy slushies for her kids. Police tell us while Shakeela was there, an argument erupted that had nothing to do with her. Gunshots were fired, and Shakeela was hit and killed in the crossfire. Another person was shot as well but survived. Last Thursday, Ferguson police announced an arrest in the case but did not release many details. The court documents, though, identify the suspect who was arrested as Marcus Evans. He is in his early 20s and faces 4 counts, including second-degree murder, first-degree assault, and 2 counts of armed criminal action. Evans is jailed on a $2 million cash-only bond. The court documents say Evans' cell records, surveillance video, and other evidence placed him in the area when the shooting happened and then leaving shortly afterward. Those court records also reveal that Evans admitted to being in a Chevy Malibu when shots were fired from that car that night. Here is some of what Shakeela's sister told us after the shooting.
The hardest part for me, even seeing her on the ground at the gas station, I was like, these babies ain't got their mama no more. So just knowing that we'll never be able to fix that. I can't be their mama. I could give them everything else, but I can't.
On the night of June the 30th, just before midnight, she stepped out of the store. She was at the store purchasing some soft drinks for her kids, some Slushies to be exact. She had 2 of her 5 kids with her. Upon exiting the store, she was confronted, or I would say, be frank with you, gunned down by a vehicle that was traveling down South Florissant Road with gunfire coming from that vehicle. Unfortunately, Ms. Martin succumbed to her injuries that night. There was another victim that was also injured during that exchange of gunfire. That individual was given aid, was transported to a local area hospital. That individual was admitted in critical condition, and from my understanding has been treated and released since. From that night, I know I spoke with some of the family members that night, but that night going forward, I know the men and women of the Ferguson Police Department, along with the Detective Bureau, spent day in and day out, putting all their time and effort into this case. Every homicide is important, of course. Every homicide is important, but I think these guys took it a lot more personal. And the reason it was personal because, again, a loving mother that's come out of the store trying to do what a mother does in regards to taking care of kids, and she ended up deceased as a result. And I'm gonna let that sit with you for a minute because that's been sitting with us for the last 30-something days. All right? This morning, I'm here to announce that as a result of that, through the hard work of these guys, the Detective Bureau, the men and women of the Ferguson Police Department, 3 individuals have been taken in custody as it relates to this particular homicide. I want to speak specifically about this Detective Bureau. As I mentioned earlier, these guys work day in and day out. I mean, they came in early, they left work late. I know they kept in constant communication with the family. There were oftentimes on numerous occasions where I had to tell these guys to go home. That's how passionate they was to try to get this case solved or whatever. So kudos to you and your guys' team. As a result of these arrests, we didn't do it by ourselves. We also had the assistance of both Tactical Operations Unit from the St. Louis County and St. Charles County Police Department. There were a number of search warrants that had to be executed as it relates to this case, and we had to use those resources to assist us. So again, I want to give kudos to those agencies for their assistance. And again, we didn't do this alone. Obviously, we had assistance from Melissa Price Smith and the St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney's Office for their fine work in regards to getting charges issued. And it's at this time, I'm going to ask Prosecutor Smith to come up and talk about the charges that were issued.
Thank you, Chief. First and most importantly, on behalf of my office, condolences to the Martin family. There are truly, truly no words. A mother should be able to go to a gas station and get Slushies for her children without risking violence. There's nothing we at the prosecutor's office can do to bring her back, and I really wish we could. But I guarantee you we will do everything in our power to get justice for your dear family member. Due to the diligent work of the Ferguson Police Department, 3 people were arrested and charged. Marcus Evans, age 21, Kyron Farmer, age 21, and John Tez Young, age 19. Our office has charged all 3 with the following: murder in the 2nd degree, a Class A felony; assault 1st degree, Class A felony; unlawful use of a weapon, specifically discharging a firearm from a motor vehicle; and 3 counts of armed criminal action. All of these counts are charged with the language acting with another. They have all 3 been charged the same. Currently, Mr. Evans is being held on a $2 million cash-only bond, and Mr. Farmer and Mr. Young are being held on $2.5 million cash-only bond. We have assigned this case to 2 of our top prosecutors to bring justice to this family, and that is Bree Baldwin and Portia Bread. Thank you all so much.
Again, before we open it up for any questions, it's important that I make the statement that everybody in this case is presumed innocent until otherwise proven guilty in a court of law. That's the way our justice system works. This time I open it up for any questions anyone may have. Right. So keep in mind, it's still an ongoing investigation. There's still more work to be done on this. So to that question, I'm not going to answer that right now, but it is an ongoing investigation, and there's other individuals that we need to speak with.
But the shot came from South Florida Road.
Correct.
From a car, she was not in the car.
Correct.
She just came close to this for you. I mean, you've been in this a long time. You've been in these cases before. What is this been like for your department to try and wrap your hands around this as a human? And this is what transpired.
It's a very good question, and people got to understand too. You know, when law enforcement, you know, we respond to these things all the time, right? We respond to homicides. Unfortunately, we respond to shootings and homicides all the time. But I don't think the general public recognize and truly understand the effect that it actually has on the police department. And I'll talk about this police department in particular. This is a very young police department. Ferguson Police Department is a very young police department, may even be the youngest in the area. When these men and women show up on these scenes and they have to see some of the things that they see, these are things they can never unsee again. I mean, it has a mental effect on them. And think about doing this, especially an officer who has been doing this for a number of years. Police officers are human. They have hearts. They see these things every day. And again, it has effect. We've had a number of officers that had to go out for mental wellness because of the things that they see on this job. And it's unfortunate.
Doesn't become a cold case, that this, is active and they're working on it nonstop. Talk to me about that effort.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, I mean, these guys work hard. Not only in this case, we work hard in every case that we have. But again, it's numerous times I had to tell the captain to tell his guys to go home. I mean, even when I told them to come home, they go home get 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and they right back in here the very next day trying to do that. They followed up on every lead, every phone call, every piece of evidence that they came across to make sure to bring this case to where we're at today. The other part that I'm extremely proud of with these guys is that, and people don't know, Ferguson this year, we have a 90% clearance rate with our homicides. Last year, our clearance rate was over 90-some%. The national average is somewhere around 61%. So I think that's remarkable for the detective bureau that we have here, is being able to go above and beyond even the national averages in regards to clearing homicides.
Martin's niece, Alma Morrow, said news of the charges brought a sense of relief despite the family's ongoing grief, describing Martin as more than a beautiful person, my friend, my niece, my partner. A community prayer gathering was held at the police station, led by Pastor Robert Lloyd, calling for unity and healing. All 3 men have been charged but not convicted, and are legally presumed innocent unless proven guilty in court. The case is ongoing,